Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, episode 1 of season 2, titled The More Things Change. Sorry, I was reading. I go by the name of the Black Abstract if you're new to the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. This video sponsored by PrayForBuffalo.com. It is a nonprofit organization that is helping the victims of the shooting that took place in Buffalo in May. You go there, you can buy you a Pray for Buffalo shirt, and it does help. The proceeds do help the victims of the shooting that took place. Now, listen, let's get into it. I've been long awaiting for this particular show out of any of them. Aside from BMF, this was my favorite. That was until the last season of Ghost, which I thought was a phenomenal season. I'm like, okay, Raising Kanan gonna have to step their shit up a little bit. And this episode was just a reintroduction episode, get everybody acclimated to who everybody is in the cast again, and kind of just showing where everybody is after the events of last season. As we know, Kanan shot his dad, who was Detective Howard. Marvin choked out his daughter Jukebox. We know Lulu got pretty scuffed up pretty bad. He was in a house fire. So his whole way of thinking is changing. He wants to focus more on the music. And we know Marvin and Rock wasn't really getting along too well. But then in the fourth quarter, she called him in. And we know Sincere got locked up for getting accused of some shit he didn't do. Pretty much. So with that being said, episode starts off. We see Kanan sitting on the beach. He's down in Virginia because we know Sincere took him down there. So he's been staying with some family, and he doesn't want to leave. Listen, he has time. He has had time to self-reflect, so he doesn't really want to leave where he's going. He's just like, he wants the slow life, kind of be away from the fast life in New York City. And as we learn later on in the episode, he's kind of rethinking his whole family thing anyway. You know what I'm saying? The family business. He doesn't want to do it anymore. You know, after Rock put him up to shooting his pops, that was foul. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about that enough. And I did speak about it in my last review of the first season, how that was kind of fucked up, because that's your mom. She's supposed to protect you. She's not supposed to send you on a dummy mission, because that situation could have easily been reversed, and, you know, he could have possibly shot Kanan. But I guess she was just banking on the fact that Detective Howard has a soft spot for Kanan as his father, and I guess that wasn't going to play out, which, you know, luckily for her it didn't, but it did change Kanan. Now, this Kanan still hasn't made the transformation that we know him to be in the newer Power, or I'm going to say newer, but the older Power, the 50 Cent Kanan. That Kanan Stark, who was just a dark cloud, who was cold-hearted, calculus, don't really care for nobody except Tariq, because maybe he sees himself in Tariq. But this is still the innocent Kanan Stark. He has put in some work, you know what I'm saying? He done shot 2 people, but he still is just not, he's not cold-hearted and callous now. He's still a kid, you know what I'm saying? I think Jukebox is more gangster than Kanan right now, for real. I think if she had to pop somebody, she definitely would. But, you know, Rock's immediate family or family member ensures her, like, listen, if Kanan wants to stay down here, he's welcome to stay down here anytime he wants. And they decide, obviously, he's going to go back. But you see his relatives, and I don't know if they're going to come into play later on in the season, but it was good getting an introduction of some family. So I'm thinking somewhere down the line they're going to have to come back in the picture again. I don't think they're just going to introduce characters for no reason, but we'll see. We see Detective Howard is finally getting released from the hospital, and they worked their TV magic, because I was wondering how they was going to play this with him having pretty much a life-ending disease. I was wondering how they was going to kind of switch this and make it seem like he wasn't going through what he was going through. And sure enough, they did their TV magic. When he got shot, I guess an officer or somebody else was getting killed at the same time or dying at the same time. And they decided to put his bone marrow in a Detective Howard. And not only is he miraculously healed from his injuries, he's miraculously healed from having a life-threatening disease. And I'm like, this is some bullshit right here. But I get it. I do. they had to keep him around, whatever. His contract got extended, and that's what it is. Later on, we see Lulu is talking to his boo thing, and we learned the big revelation that we learn about her is that she is sleeping with Quincy Combs' character, and they're pretty much sneaking behind Lulu's back. And this isn't going to be good for either one of them. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not sure if Lulu's going to kill behind some pussy. He's a real one. I don't see him doing that. But the fact that she's just doing this, which is what she's trying to do is kind of sleep her way up until she could get her brother in a position to get an industry. This is common. This was common back in the day amongst a lot of females. In order for them to get in the music business or break through, they had to do strange things for some change, or strangest things to get some fame. And that's no disrespect and knock the woman. That's just what the climate used to be back then. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you didn't have a male or a counterpart to kind of bring you in and protect you and embrace you, and that you had to do that. But they get into an argument, and they pull off, and Lulu's at the stop sign, and he sees a female singing to one of his beats, and he tries to get her attention. She doesn't hear him, so he decides to just cut her off in the middle of the street, and he gives her a card, and she's freaking out. And I'm like, okay, it's crazy how they really embody her hair and look of that particular time frame. I was like, oh, they did a good job, even down to the car. And I'm guessing she's going to be the new love interest, because obviously his love interest has strayed and is doing other shit. So we can already see he's taking a liking to her. Lulu, don't mix business with pleasure, brother. That you see what happened last time. It's not a good look. Just keep business and pleasure separate, you know? We see Jukebox is at her girlfriend's grave. She's still reeling from the fact that she lost. And, I told you guys the last reviews of the last season. And I'll leave a link at the end of this video if you want to see all my reviews from season 1. I did a good job. I'm that boy when it comes to this. I said that this was going to change her. And not only that, I love their relationship. I really did. I thought that it showed another side of Jukebox that we hadn't saw. Because all we saw was Jukebox when she was older and she was kidnapping Tariq, and she had a bone to pick with Ghost and Tommy. And that's another thing we got to get introduced to Ghost and Tommy. We don't know when we're going to get introduced to them. I don't know if it's going to be this season. I think at the end of the season they'll tease them. But I think next season probably, if it get renewed, then we'll get an introduction to Ghost and Tommy. But I'm not rushing it. I'm going to stay on what we going on. But they got to pick this shit up. I'm telling you now. Because we need some shit to go on. Anyway, she's at the gravesite, and she's reflecting and reminiscing on her friend. We see Kanan and Brock taking a long ride home back. And Patina Miller, man, she is a different kind of fine, man. I'm sorry, babe, if you're watching this. No disrespect. But Patina Miller is... And she's the same age as me, dude. She's fine. I'm sorry. She's bad, man. Out of all the Powers moms, I don't know. MJ fine too. MJ more like my auntie though. That's how I look at him, MJ. So I'm gonna get a crown to Patina, man. I think Patina Miller got it, dude. She out of all the moms in the Power universe, she the finest, man. And no, I was about to say she the flies. No, don't nobody get flyer than Monet. We see Marvin meeting up with his lawyer. And, Marvin is, if you watch my reviews from Marvin is my favorite character of the whole show. I just love his loyalness to his family. I love the fact that he's multifaceted. He could be playing a janitor and sneaking up in somebody's crib, or he just with the shits. You know what I'm saying? We done seen himself get himself out a bunch of pickles, and he's that guy. So we see that the situation that happened last season when he got arrested, it got dropped or whatever because technicality, but they still gave him, he still got to do like anger management, or he has to pick up trash, community service. He picks the anger management. The lawyer tells him all he got to do is go in and sign. So he like, cool. I'm like, listen, man, I wish I could have got that deal when I got jammed up with my situations back when I was, because I remember I was in the back seat of my own car because I was too drunk to drive. I had a roach this big, and I had to do like 6 months of fucking rehab or some shit. But it was like outdoor. I had to sit around in a group, and I'm like, dude, I'm not even addicted to weed. I don't even smoke weed that often. I just happened to smoke weed this day, and I really got a bad deal from a shitty lawyer, and that's why I never paid that nigga. But anyway, we see the detective drops off Howard, or his partner drops him off at his house, and they're talking. And then one of the things they said about Howard is that his memory loss isn't there, so they're like, yo, who shot you? And he's saying he can't remember. Now, remember they set up Sincere to take the fall, but Sincere had an alibi about where he was at the time, so that's not going to hold up. So they're trying to figure out exactly who shot him now. He doesn't remember. She walks in to see he has a case file of Kanan Stark, which I think is going to spark her interest, and I think she'll find out eventually. But I think she'll wind up getting knocked off by Howard in order to protect him. That's what I think. That's my early prediction. I'm gonna do a predictions video too, like Mark Dark be doing. I'm gonna start putting out more content again. I've been lacking, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta go this week and I'm gonna knock it out. Aside from that, we see police are hanging. They're jacking up Sincere's crew all up and down on the corners because they're still out there, and that's what they do. They head bust. You see Rock rolling by laughing and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck she laughing at? That's where's she hustling at? I forgot she was one of the first people. Now this was a real thing they used to do in the 80s. They used to have these high rises and these projects sold up, and they would have it just like that, like just how she got up. They didn't make this up for a TV show. This is based on shit that really happened. And it was hard for police to get in there, or if they did come in there, they would see them coming a mile away, and they could kind of just, convert or change up plans and do what they do. In order to take down these organizations, you really had to have some informants or snitches that was really telling you what was going on. Because if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't really have. You see last season when they moved the dirt from up the stairs to downstairs in the oven, I'm like, yo, this is good shit right here. But she got this shit on a whole nother level now. She got one floor committed solely to her business. She got fiends on this floor, everything. She got everybody in the project shook. They don't even get on the elevator with her when she's going up. And Kanan's like, yo, why they not getting on the elevator with us? And she like, you got to ask them. I was like, she's so gangster and cute. So I thought that was pretty dope. But Kanan's walking there. He's seeing everything that's going on. And he's so fucking green. And they got this shit set up military style. They got gates and, we got 50 Cent narrating, talking about everybody she had to pay off. She paying off tenants. She paying off doormen. She paying off this person, that person, this person, that person. So it's a lot of money going around, but they making, I believe he said $75,000 a day. That's nothing to frown at. That's what some people make in a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I made, at my last job. I made that a year. I'm like, they making that a day? Well, damn. 50 or Kanan reunites with Marvin and old boy with the eye patch. What the fuck is his name? I'm sorry. Damn, I'm sorry. I knew I was gonna forget. Yeah, they all reunite, and everybody's cracking jokes and shit, and happy to see each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? So. Lulu's late to the party because he's working on his record label. And I guess this has been a pattern, and Rock's not too happy about it. You know what I'm saying? So she's kind of like, you know how last season it was Marvin fucking up? This season it seems like Lulu's the one fucking up, and he's getting hell about it. You get what I'm saying? So it's funny to see that, how it's reversed and shit. We see a scene of Sincere in prison, and we learn that he's getting out, obviously, because they don't have any evidence to hold him. And, the CEO is all upset. And we figure out what's going to happen with that. You know what I'm saying? We see Jukebox is digging through some old pictures and photos. And she sees a picture of her mom, who they said was going to get introduced this season was LaToya Luckett. She's playing Jukebox's mom. And things are going to be crazy. Listen, LaToya Luckett's a good actress. She's going to do good. I'm curious to see the backstory of why her and Marvin stopped talking or whatnot. So that's gonna be good in itself. I'll edit this. But yeah, they all. Rock's trying to figure out a plan to get more money because obviously she's not happy. She wants to expand. So she wants to take over another project, and they're in Baisley. I think she wants to take over the 40 projects, which is where Nas is from. If I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Nas is from the 40 projects or the 40 for one of those projects in Queens. So she wants to take over a whole nother projects to expand. And niggas ain't saying no, but niggas is looking like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what? This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they just trying to devise a plan in order to do it. She says she wants to bring in Sincere's crew, like his men that are on the street. She like, yo, we probably could use them for such and such. We also learned that old boy with the eye patch has a gambling problem. So, and I like when they did the flashback, they took the eye patch off to show how far back it was. But he was betting Marvin how many fries were in the McDonald's container, and he won. He won $500. I'm like, yo, this nigga's a gambler. But Rock telling him he need to fall back because that could be a liability. You know what I'm saying? You know, any nigga with a gambling problem, that could be a liability. One of my good friends who I just reconnected with that I be chilling with, if you go on my Instagram, see pictures, he was a gambling hall. He really had a gambling problem. He was spending thousands and thousands of dollars in the casino. You know what I'm saying? Trying to catch that. It's like gambling's like that high. You know, you get that first big draw, and then you just trying to chase that and shit. You go back, and then you start blowing in and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Nigga like me I hit for whatever, something big money. If I hit for 10 racks, I know what to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to go back and gamble my 10 racks away. I'm going to probably catch up on some bills, and I'm investing probably into my business or a business. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And keep the pot flowing. Keep the plot glowing. Stunting on your hoe. Sorry, I just broke. I'm a rapper at heart. I'll do that from time to time. Jukebox and Kanan reunite, and I love the dynamic duo that is Jukebox and Kanan. I feel like later on down the road, they're going to be doing capers together. Like, when it's all said and done, Jukebox and Kanan are going to be like Tommy and Ghost to a certain extent when they get deeper into the game and shit. I feel like that's going to happen, and I want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Rock and Lulu, everybody's going to be probably gone or dead. And it's just going to be Kenan and Jukebox because, honestly, that's all they had. You think about it. Eventually, Lulu and whoever are going to expire. They don't talk about them in the newer powers because, obviously, they probably wasn't thought up at the time. But they weren't around. Something happened. They must have got killed. They must have been dead. They must have been locked up. Something. You know what I'm saying? When Kanan Stark died, nobody came to collect his remains. He didn't have anything. You know what I'm saying? So, it's got to be a time where they're going to be gone, but I want to see these two putting in some crazy work together. Just, you know, later on, no rush, but just, you know, some for seasons to come. If it's going to be some seasons, I want to see that. I just want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because as it stands right now, Jukebox is more gangster than Kanan, and she even in the newer one she was because she was ready to kill Tariq and Ghost, and you know, obviously we know how that played out. Howard, we learned, hasn't forgot a damn thing. He's parked outside of their house and shit, and Kanan sees this. And I don't know if did he tell his mom? I can't even remember if he told his mom or not. But we see Marvin and Kanan having a heart-to-heart, you know, just bullshitting and joking. And that's another dynamic I love is Marvin and Kanan. I like their relationship because they uncle and nephew, but they also they good friends. Like Kanan gets along with Marvin. I think he does more than Lulu. Like it's more relatable. And because Marvin's the one that's giving them shot at certain shit. I don't know. I just like Marvin, dude. Marvin get fly. He a gangster and he's silly. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, he no nonsense. He could bag joints. Like, he's just a player. You know what I'm saying? He ain't too serious about everything. But we see that him and Jukebox's relationship has been strained since the incident that happened. And we learned that this is actually 3 months after the events of the last season. So it's been 3 months. I'm trying to think if that's the same amount of time in real life. How long has it been in real life? It ain't been 3 months. It's been longer than 3 months. Yeah, it's been longer than 3 months. But their relationship is pretty much non-existent at this point. She doesn't fuck with Marvin at all. I don't blame her. The nigga, pretty much called her any homophobic slur in the world, broke her tapes, choked her up. Shit, you as a father, you don't do to your daughter, and that's one thing. That's the only knock I got against Marvin. But this was different times back then. Shit wasn't as understanding and as accepting as it is now. So I get it. I do. Don't make it right, but people make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Rock is having a dinner, and I'm like, the first thing I said, had they been having this dinner all the time? But then she said it. She's like, I want you to know, Kanan, we ain't had a dinner like this since you've been gone, because you this family ain't some shit to that effect. I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. All right, I just wanted to make sure, you know what I'm saying? Because that would have been fucked up. They all eating dinner and shit. And then I feel like Marvin's relationship with Jukebox would have been better if they were having that fucking dinner and shit. But Jukebox is staying with Rock now. So Kanan pretty much has a living sister, which is what they're like anyway. They're like brother and sister. We see that we also find out that Lulu has pretty much cut off Famous. His single didn't really do too much. It was a flop. So that's why he's looking for female singers. And listen, let's be honest. Famous wasn't that good of a rapper. He's a poser anyway. And we see his sister talking to him. And, she's managing. But he got super disrespectful with her. Won't you? You're sleeping with the guy. What, you not doing your job enough? Or something to that effect, he said. And I'm like, dude, you a little disrespectful little shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with you? And he walks off and shit. After that, I would have been done with his ass. But, we see what it is. We see at the house, Marvin's trying to talk to Jukebox. And she's just giving him one-word answers. And I love when shows do this. They'll pan out. It's another show that just did this recently, too. It'll be two people on the camera screen, but the person that's talking to be clear, then it'll pan to the other person. It'll make it clear, and it'll make them blurry. The person that's not talking, it'll keep doing it. So they did that little pan. It was another show that did that recently, too. I forget what it was. I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. They were, like, literally sitting right in the same frame. It might have been The Shy. I think it might have been The Shy. You can check my Shy reviews, too, if you like. I do the Shy reviews. We see Lulu and Rock are talking, and she says some real shit to him. She said, if you're doing something and you're not getting paid for it, it's just a hobby. So how much money you done put into this hobby? But I disagree with her because, actually I do get paid off my music, so I can't even say. Because when she said that, I thought, I was like, ooh, she's talking about me. But I'm like, I do make something off my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get my fucking, my daily listener count every month, and I'll be like, damn, I really got people that listen to my music. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is dope. And it be places you won't even think of and shit. Like, weird places like Seattle and shit like that. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck up. I'm just playing Seattleans, if that's what y'all call yourself. We see Kanan and Jukebox having this conversation, and he's pretty much telling her, like, yo, I don't think I'm cut out for this shit. I just wish, like, I would have chose something different and took my mom's advice and decided to go to college or, do what the fuck she wanted to do. And, Jukebox is there to listen. And she kind of reassuring him, wish she does best and trying to help him out and whatnot. At the same time, we see Detective Howard sitting outside watching. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. And Kanan sees him drive by. Rock, Lulu, and Marvin are sitting at the table discussing another plan. And that's when she breaks the news that she wants to bring in Sincere's crew to them, and obviously they got some objections to it. And I like the fact that she all made them little tea. I said, she's so sisterly. You gotta think, she the baby sister, so that's like, but she like smarter than all of them. That's how it normally is. But they really got some objections to it. At the same time, we see old boy with the eye patch is at a gambling match again with his mom, and he's winning. And all of a sudden, the boys break in, and he gets arrested. So this is going to lead to some kind of friction between him and Rock, and I think they're going to try to take him out, which is fucked up because dude been loyal. He lost the eye for y'all, and for y'all to do that to him, that just shows Rock don't really give a fuck about nobody. But we already knew that anyway when she killed Kenan's best friend last season. We see Howard come to the station, holler at his partner, and they have a conversation, and he's telling her to look into somebody or something. I forget exactly what he was talking about. It was something to do pertaining to the shooting. I think she was looking into it. I think he was just telling her to drop it, like there's nothing there or some shit. So but she's adamant about trying to find it because that's what she said. Homicide wasn't doing their job. It's been months. They don't have a suspect, so it was kind of we finally get some action in the fucking show. We see Sincere happens to bump into some guys that are assaulting another guy or about to assault another guy. And they wind up attacking Sincere, and he just beat the shit out of all three of these white dudes. And then he gets taken away. And the guy's like, yo, they attacked him, blah, blah, blah. And he vouches for him. So I'm guessing this guy might be something, or he's going to remember this. And somehow he's going to be a supply chain for Sincere because he's going to remember that favor that Sincere did for him. So I'm guessing that was the whole point of that particular exchange. You know what I'm saying? Just me knowing how TV works and shows work and whatnot. We see... listen, I've been saying unique I've been saying Sincere this whole time. It's unique. I'm sorry. Joey Badass character is unique. So I'm sorry about that. Like, y'all probably like, what? Hold on, he got it for Unique. Unique is the guy. I'm sorry. It's these fucking old 80s names. Sincere is the guy she was fucking. So her and Sincere actually wind up meeting up in a restaurant, and she thanks him for what he did to, for helping Kanan get out of town because he was the one that drove him. And obviously he wants to be back in Rock's good graces. He's in love with her. And they good couple, good looking couple, man. He was blowing Rock back out. So anyway, we see at the studio, Lulu decides to bring in his new artist, and obviously Famous and old girl are super jealous and upset about it. We also see the connection, and I think that's what Rock is looking at. The what's the word I'm looking for? Between him and Kanan. Sincere and Kanan just had this bond. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets along so well with Kanan. And how they talking about he ate all the Cheetos. He like, no, nigga, that your whole hand was orange. So like he's super good with Kanan. So I think she likes that. And they embrace each other, and I think she gonna wind up dipping back into that, or he'll wind up dipping back into that. But I understand with Rock, like, listen, I can't have no weakness in this business. I have to be on point. I don't have time for certain shit. You know what I'm saying? But I think if she gonna be with anybody, it's gonna be him because she already saw he loyal to the soil. We saw that he's a good dude and he gets along well with your son. That's pretty much all you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? You got chemistry with my son. You loyal to me. You did me a solid when you didn't have to after I shitted on you. So that's pretty dope. Oh, and that's how Marvin got off. The white girl left town and they couldn't continue with the case without her testimony. So we don't know if she'll come back or if they just pretty much got rid of her character, which I'm pretty much guessing they did. So we see Marvin walk into this rehab, and I'm guessing this is his new love interest, is this lady. He tries to walk in and sign. This is the clip that got released. We all saw that. If you didn't see it, go on Showtime page or you've seen the show. But she tells Marvin to sit his ass down pretty much. In the studio, we see Lulu's new singer singing. We was worried about Famous getting jealous, but we weren't worried about Jukebox getting jealous. And that's what happened because remember Jukebox asked Lulu to sing, and he was like, nah. And all of a sudden, she sees her in the studio, and it's fucking crazy. Skip to the scene, we see Lulu's girlfriend with, having sex with Quincy's character, and shit is all bad. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. We see 50 Cent talking to his mom, and she knows something, or not 50 Cent. We see Kanan talking to his mom, and she knows something is up with her son because she knows her son. And it's funny how she still brings him a glass of milk every night, like he's a fucking little baby. So I thought that was hilarious. And she pretty much assures him, like, not assure him, but wants to know what's going on. And she tells him, like, listen, he tells her what's going on in his mind, but she assures him, like, listen, you in this shit now. You know what I'm saying? You built for this shit. And kind of was like, yo, it ain't no taking back. Like, you in this, like, it ain't no going back now. You in this shit. And, you know, we just see the look on his face, and I don't think that's what he wanted to hear. I think he wanted to hear probably like, all right, baby, if that's what you want to do, then don't worry about this shit. But she like, nigga, you in now. Ain't no shit. We see Unique get released from jail, and Marvin on his ass automatically soon he get released. I'm like, oh, is Marvin about to blame him? Because Marvin could have blamed him. Probably should have blamed him. But I don't know. Maybe they're going to proposition him with him with, you know, some bread to fucking have a conversation about getting down. You know what I mean? Get down or lay down. Take the package, or we going to see you. That's how they used to do it. Take this package. Take our package. That's what Marlo used to do. Take our package if you watch The Wire, or you don't get no package. At the end, we see Howard and Rock meeting up, and that's where it ends. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's about to happen now? Post your comments below. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I try to do this quick, but, you know, I like to be in depth. I like to talk about the episodes. I'll leave the playlist right here if you want to watch my other reviews of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. And listen, if you want to check out my music, dedicated this song to my grandma, you can check it out right here. Peace.